and welcome to LS Soccer. I have a very special guest, Mr. Danell Winters. She is running for JP4, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4. Ma'am, thank you so much for coming on the LS Soccer.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, DB.
I wanted to start by getting your background out there. If you could tell them about yourself, that would be awesome.
My background, as far as employment, for the last 13 years, I've worked for an Ellis County Justice of the Peace. For several years, I worked for Judge Sibley in Precinct 4, and then I worked for Judge Egan, later hired by Judge Polk to move to Precinct 3. And now I work for Judge Cox after Judge Polk retired.
Well, well, that definitely you've done a lot. You've been in that. It sounds like you've been in that kind of world for a while.
I have.
And I want to get into that a little later. But um, were you originally from here in this area?
I was born in Dallas. I moved to Midlothian in 93, raised my son here. He was graduated from Midlothian High School. He was raised in ag and pee wee football, played football, went off to the Navy, came back here and got his degree at UTA, and then he went to flight school. So now he's a pilot instructor, and I just stayed.
That is so cool. I am partial to the Navy, so
Yes, sir.
um, yeah, I love my Navy. But the why there's a lot of people running and there's a lot going on in this county. All the politics have ramped up. um, there's two other challengers for this position. So why do you want to be the justice of the peace for precinct 4?
I want to be the justice of the peace because it's a natural next step for me, if you will, a promotion. Um, Unfortunately, it's not a job you can apply for under ordinary circumstances, but I'm qualified. I've been doing this. I have 190 hours of clerk instruction from the Texas Justice Training Center, Justice Court Training Center. I have been designated a master clerk. I hold 2 certifications from there. I guess basically because I'm qualified and it's a natural next step for me. And I'm
well,
passionate about the work.
well, that's definitely needed, and like I tell all the politicians on here, I appreciate you wanting to run to um, make the county better or make help the
Yes.
people. I appreciate that from every candidate because that this is a meat grinder, as I've always said,
Yes.
and things can get quite nasty and whatever. So yeah, thank you so much for running.
Thank you.
So this is your natural progression. What kind of things did you get to do in your job? Kind of tell people about what you do in your job that makes you qualified for this.
I've been very fortunate to be able to shadow every judge that I've worked for. I have attended inquests with them. Not the easiest thing to do. We go in the courtroom and take pictures of weddings for him. I stand by Judge Cox while he presides over traffic cases, city county ordinance cases, driver's license suspension, handgun revocation, and then the civil side is small claims, debt claims, and landlord tenant issues. So I've been able to shadow him and have experience. I've gone to the jail with each judge that I've worked for during magistration, so I understand the process of setting a bond and making sure you have probable cause to have that person held, and setting bond, based on the circumstances or based on their history, whatever information you have access to. So yeah, I've done it all. I've gone with them on everything that they do.
Wow. So you're really familiar with the day-to-day operations. And that's
I
good.
am.
That
I
means
am.
that you don't have such a steep learning curve to perform the
Right.
job.
Oh no,
So,
I'll walk in day one and be able to really effectively and efficiently run that office.
okay. So the qualifications are there, the want is there. Um, if you are elected, what would you do differently that is currently happen, or what kind of touches would you bring, things you would bring to that office?
I don't anticipate there being a lot of challenges there. I'm not in that office in particular daily, but I think my biggest challenge will be to delegate, to not just grab things and do it myself, because that's what I've been doing for 13 years. Um, but obviously, walk in and assess the situation, make sure all the reporting is in place, make sure all of the records are in place. There's a lot that goes on as far as record keeping and reporting to the state. For example, we have to report convictions for any traffic offenses. We have to report defensive driving if someone has taken that, because a person only gets a chance every 6 months to do that. We have to report the traffic convictions, to help DPS identify habitual offenders or somebody that might need to be looked at who could be dangerous. In addition to that, there's a portal that the Office of Court Administration handles for us, where we have to report emergency protective orders. Those are served by the Justice of the Peace down at the jail. And when we get back, we have to report those to the state, so that all law enforcement has access to the record that we just created here in Ellis County. Um, what else?
Well, it sounds like an intricate thing. You're talking a little bit of Chinese, but I'm just, going with you. I'm going with you, and that's good that you have some
Sorry.
expertise. No, that's fine. I want the people to know uh, you, because this show is about you. This is almost the Danell Winters show. Like
Yeah.
it's going every guest, their title goes on the show.
Right.
So um JP4 qualifications are there that you were talking about. The need is there. Um, One of the things that you have to do is evictions,
Yes.
and you know you're gonna have to kick somebody out of their home, and sometimes that's a family. That's you know that is a tough issue. So, how would you deal with that if you're the JP? What would you do in those situations? Because you're going to have a lot of them.
I think the most important thing you can do as a JP is refer them to the resources that they might need newly evicted, and refer them or advise them of their rights to appeal whatever decision the court makes. And, the judge is not making the call. I must follow the law narrowly from the bench. Um, it's basically black and white, and but so the important thing to preserve that person's dignity is obviously refer them to resources. And we have the resources. The state has resources, the county has resources, the constable has resources, and he would be the one that ultimately goes to the house and watches those people take their things out. So I want to make sure that everyone is armed with a list of shelters and food banks and financial assistance, whatever we have that we know they can utilize.
That's good. That allows for a, a, a legal process to become a little more compassionate.
Sure.
And that's
Sure.
that's that's a good thing, helping the people of Ellis County. Now, the basic principles of candidates, will, like, all these little peripheral issues get in the way. If your fundamentals are a certain way, then that's how you will lead in your office. And while your office, it has its, specific function in government, it is still government. And
Sure.
so I'd like to know what you believe the role of government is in the people of Ellis County.
What it is, or my opinion of what it should be?
Well, you know what? Both. You're talking to the people.
Personally, I believe the government's role in my life should be limited. I don't need direction. Um, I'm a law abiding citizen. I can read it and I can distinguish between right and wrong as a person, and as a law abiding citizen. I don't need the government's direction in my life as much as some people might. Um, I make good decisions. I go to work every day. I make my own money, and I provide for myself and my family. So I don't. I don't have a desire to be controlled or have the government play a major role in my day to day living, other than law enforcement and administrative offices that protect us from would be criminals or bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, things like policing and stuff, those are integral. There
Sure.
it's kind of a we've traded a little bit for to make this society function. But, limited government, by saying limited government, everyone in Ellis County will know that you will do the minimum required by law basically to make sure you stay out of the people's lives. Um,
Sure.
and that's
I
but
mean, we're governed. The JPs are governed by the same ethics that everyone else is. All the other judges, you don't have a lot of discretion in interpreting the law as it's written.
Well, that's definitely something that I've heard in recent times. There's been, and that's a different office, but it is in law enforcement, and
Hmm.
so um, in different places where people are picking and choosing which laws they want to enforce.
True.
So the people of Ellis County can count on you not to pick and choose the laws that you like.
Absolutely.
Excellent,
Absolutely.
excellent. So I'm gonna I'm gonna give you the mic here because I want you to tell the people of Ellis County why they should vote for you. Give them your pitch and just the people got to know.
Okay. Thank you, DV. Like I said earlier, I don't anticipate a lot of challenges in taking office. I feel like all of the offices are probably run just to the best of their ability. I'll go in and I will assess and make any adjustments um, that are needed to keep things going and keep things going effectively and efficiently. I don't know of any case backlog that's there due to the pandemic, but obviously that would be the first thing we address to get those cases resolved and stay on top of record keeping, stay on top of reporting to the Office of Court Administration, to the Department of Public Safety, all of the things that we have to provide, giving them tools and the data they need to provide for our community and for our county. And once again, just want to say that I have 190 hours of continuing education. I hold 2 certifications from the Texas Justice Court Training Center. One of those is a master level clerk. One of only 2 working in Alice County at this point. And I bring 13 years of experience. It's a full time commitment for me. This post will not be a side gig. It will not be something that I do part time. It has been and will continue to be a full time job for me. And I thank you for having me on, and I appreciate your support, DV.
Well, I am impartial, but I definitely have to have the candidates on here to speak
Yes, yes,
to the thing. So just want to straighten that out. The
yes.
Ellis
Thank
Talker does not endorse any candidate.
you. Right.
So,
Thank you for supporting all 3 of us with your show. I appreciate that.
no problem. I really want the people to know who they're voting for. That's a big
Yes,
one. We discussed it, big one.
yes, I love that.
So, um, thank you so much for coming on the show. And, you know, I wish you best of luck, like I've wished every candidate. And because I know that in your hearts, all of you want to do what's best for the people
Right.
of Ellis County.
Yes,
You all come into this with that same devotion. You want to do what's best for the people of Ellis County.
yes.
So I completely I respect that, and I definitely respect that in you.
Thank you. I
Well,
appreciate you.
you take care.
And thank you for your service.
I appreciate that, man.